Hello, welcome to 2022 and the first Climbing Daily Wednesday news show of the year.
The distant future, the distant future.
It is the distant future.
Terry T, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Feels like last year, but it's a new year.
It does feel like last year,
You have to start memorizing, writing down the new year. That's the most confusing thing about, a new year. Writing out a different number.
Zach, do you remember at school, and that was a long time ago for me, it was always like the first date of the year would always have like a little scribble on it. So you'd write 2021 or the equivalent. It's hard sometimes. Numbers change, they go up. Who knew?
Great Scott.
What's the first news of this year?
Well, the first news of this year is about Mr. Adam Ondra, who completely ruined our title from last week. Adam Ondra was back at it again, and as I said, he destroyed last week's show title by climbing another 9B before the year ended. He has made the second ascent of Stefano Ghisolfi's The Lonely Mountain. He describes it on his 8a.nu logbook, saying it's a little harder than Erebor, another 9B, but doesn't break the 9B plus barrier. This one blew my mind, okay, and it blew my mind because there's no information on it. It's not on his Instagram. There's a little clip on. I'm sure stuff's coming, but how crazy is it that he's not posting about 9Bs?
It's not a biggie. It's not a biggie for Adam and 9B.
No
it's
big
just
deal.
Another climb. I'm sure there will be some episode from his YouTube channel, Stefano's as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's just made me laugh. And I was trying to research yesterday, trying to find some images that we can use. It was like, oh, there's nothing. There's not UKC, 8a.nu logbook. That's about it.
Oh yeah, because he does that. He does keep that updated though, so that's good for us.
Yeah, true.
I'm moving on to the 9A roundup. 15-year-old Niki Rusev red-pointed jungle speed, an 8C plus or 9A in Sirana, Spain. It took him only 2 sessions, commenting that even with a broken crimp on the first jump crux, I think hard 8C plus is okay for it. As reported on planetmountain.com, 23-year-old Italian climber Luca Bana made the first ascent of Extrasistole Galoppante 9A at the historic crag of Cornalba in Italy. Great roundup. I feel these climbs are all from last year and we're reporting them this year. So I feel like we're doing actually the roundups from the end weekends of 2021.
Yeah, there's a weird period of time, isn't it, when that year ends? Well, we're catching up from the last week. That's why it's in this one. Off the Wagon, one of my favourite looking boulder problems in the world. And, well, it's getting some action. Val Bavona in Switzerland has been seeing some good conditions over Christmas, and the 8C plus Off the Wagon Low has been sent a few times as reported by 8a.nu. Yannick Flo figured out the start and sent the climb a year after he climbed the stand version. Joining that send train was Sergei Topishko. In an interview on 8a.nu, he describes sending the stand start quickly in April and then sending the sit on his second session. His form continued as a few days later he climbed the 8C La Rustica, also in Val Bavona. A great way to finish the year, so let's hear from Sergei.
Hi everyone, I'm Sergei Topishko and I want to tell a few words about the boulder which is behind me. It's Off the Wagon that I did a few days ago. I did around 30 tries on my first session and I was pretty close to send it, but it was too hot, I think, so I left it for half a year. When I tried it first time this trip, conditions were perfect and I made around 5 attempts from seat to the crux cross move, and so I came back in a few days, just warmed up and did it from the first try, and I was pretty happy to finally send it. So I'm trying the seat start from the ground now, and we'll see how it works in a few days. Because now it's a bit raining and no chance to try it. So we'll come back here again. Ciao.
Sergei has his own YouTube channel and the film of his ascent is being released tonight. So make sure you check it out using the link down below. Off the Wagon Low. So that is, if you remove the wagon from off the wagon and sit down,
There are more holds.
there are holds.
All right, you actually saw it, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
That's why you said favorite looking.
Dude, I've always loved that boulder. Like, I love the spinny move. Always bangs on about the spinny move. But the sit start just adds an extra level to that thing.
Right.
It's an impressive tick. It's a nice one. Both those dudes.
I've got more bouldering news from Ticino, and we are moving on to the 8A Plus Women Bouldering Roundup. Alma Bestvater, who's very active on the competition scene, has done Frank's Wild Years, an 8A Plus, as well as Ponk, an 8A in Ticino. Also down in Cresciano, Caroline Sinhuber has done Frank's Wild Years, and the North Sail, another 8A Plus. Speaking about the climb, she said she's not sure about the 8A Plus grade, but it doesn't matter since it's a must climb. We caught up with Caroline Sinhuber to hear more about her climbs.
Hey guys, today I will give you some further information about my 2 recent 8A Plus scents, the North Sail and Frank's Wild Years. 2 weeks before my annual Christmas Ticino trip, I went for a weekend in Cresciano and checked out the moves of the boulder called North Sail, which is a proud-looking high wall with a no-fall zone above the cracks. When I sanded today, it was pretty crisp, so the most important thing were warm fingers during the 3-minute climb, because I think it's not so funny when you get numb fingers when you're 7 meters above the ground. When I stuck the crux move, somehow I got a bit nervous, but I knew I can climb the top out easily, but I was already breathing really hard and tried to calm myself down then with some shaking and breathing. I'm pretty happy it worked out. This one is definitely one of my proudest highball ascents. The day after, it was raining a bit, so I checked out Frank's Wild Years once again. I have a little love-hate relationship with this boulder and with the right heel. On the first move, you pull up to a pinch. It's an undercling pinch. And then you have to put this really bad heel next to your right hand and pray it won't pop. It took me 3 or 4 sessions over some years to finally get this heel on the right spot. But the weird thing is, as soon as I found that spot and my right body position, it worked out every time I tried this boulder and move.
In the US, Allison Vest has done the Power Slave, an 8A Plus in Red Rocks, Nevada. It took 2 sessions to send this thing, and she said it was painful and punchy. Condi's down in Ticino.
Yeah, and they do come in and out because it is mountainous up there. I know when we were there a couple of months ago, whenever it was like it's heavy snow and then it went away and then it came back and it just comes and forth. So I think if you get the gold dust of Ticino, it all comes together. I have got sort of an 8C roundup. It's just one guy though. A one-person 8C roundup as 8A.nu reports that Shinichiro Momura has made the first ascent of local and repeated Neihana, both 8Cs in Japan. He says on his Instagram there's potential to link Neihana into another boulder, Prithem, and create a new V16. I might have totally butchered all that Japanese pronunciation of those words there, but it was a bit tricky to find the story out because he writes it in Japanese on his Instagram and then kind of gets translated. 8A was saying he climbed this other 8C, but look, if you know more than I could find out, do let me know. But it looks like there's a potential V16 out there, which is exciting stuff.
That he's projecting.
Yeah, well, he's done this boulder and then reckons it links into another route, into another hard boulder, which could make it 8C plus. So that's kind of cool. So
that is cool.
Potential.
Next up, I have a story regarding the highest mountain in the world. Which one is it, Matt?
K2.
No, the other one. In the fall of 2019, several climbing parties had to abandon their hopes to climb Everest because of a lethal serac looming over the route. An Everest guide, Garrett Madison, got sued by his client, Zach Bookman, for $100,000 US for breach of contract and fraud, because allegedly Madison had orally promised him a refund for the trip. He also claimed that Madison had deliberately scuttled the expedition because one of his other clients had been physically unfit. But in Buxman's lawsuit, he never mentioned the Sirac. Now, after almost a year, Madison won the legal battle over the cancelled summit attempt. So this was quite a big win for, let's say, the guiding and mountaineering community, because at that point it's a call whether to go for the summit or not. But fun fact, that season nobody summited Everest from that side, from the waterfall side.
Okay.
So it's probably a good call.
Yeah, so client was unhappy because he didn't get to the top. He felt like the guide had mismanaged it, so he couldn't get to the top. The guide is obviously saying, look, it was dangerous, that's why we didn't go to the top. Guide wins out. It is interesting because, I mean, it would have set a heck of a precedent. Can you imagine if the client had won? Because you then have to start like I mean, presumably there is something when you sign up. I've never signed up to one, but you'd think there'd be some kind of a contract that would say that the guide's call is final. That's it.
Like you can't sue me type thing because it's your safety. There is a longer article of this on climbing.com. Go read it. But there's some intricacies to these stories. But bottom line, it wasn't safe. The guide called it and they didn't go.
Because I mean,
but neither everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it is an industry though, isn't it? So the second you start having customers in there, you have to. They expect something. People always expect.
It's more like
something.
they're Richie Rich.
Oh, is it hot in here?
Can we say that?
We just want to say we do not know the financial situation of any of the participants in this situation.
Yeah, but why didn't you go up Everest?
Why haven't I gone up Everest? Because I'm not Richie Rich.
There we go.
But like, yeah, it's true. Like, okay, go on then.
Either you're an athlete.
Yes.
Who's like sponsored and
Yes.
is pushing those boundaries or whatever, up Everest or up other mountains. But if you have monies, that helps you get up mountains.
I agree with you. I would say that like if you have a goal, a life goal, right? And like, because there are some Everest style trips that cost a lot and some which cost less and some which are more supported, some which are less. You can kind of tailor it. So like money is obviously a factor, but it is the highest mountain in the world. It's a bit like going to the North Pole and complaining it costs a lot in down gear. You know what I mean? Like you say, I think it is a commitment, and I don't have any issue with anyone doing that. Like
paying for it.
I have an issue with them not being fit enough and shouldn't be there. Yeah. But I do appreciate it costs a lot of money. And I know I've talked to and know some of these guys and stuff. Like I know why it's that expensive. But yeah, you're right.
Infrastructure and all to get there and all of the intricacies.
I suppose if you're a super rich person, you go to Everest and you're used to expecting something. You know, you pay money, you get something. Yeah,
you get the service out of what you paid for.
And then suddenly you're like, I did not summit this thing. I get it, right? But I suppose from just hearing that, I'm sort of more on the side of the guide, I think.
We are simplifying it. But I mean, he won it, so...
Yeah, interesting debate, though, for sure.
Let us know in the comments below.
Exactly.
How
what do
would
you
you summit Everest?
Yes.
I propose a helicopter.
Do you now? Yeah. I quite like to do that.
Yeah, I'll wait a couple of years till, they'll actually build the types of helicopters that can summit Everest.
Right.
And then, how do you go down? I guess you go down a rope.
Or in a helicopter, presumably.
Yeah,
what, you want to go onto it?
You cannot land on it.
Oh, I see. Parachute?
So. No.
Just get really close and jump?
No.
We'll work it out.
No.
The details. Let's talk about the 9B counter. Adam Ondra completely and utterly ruined our title because we were like, look, last new show of the year, it's got to be the last 9B of the year. And then he went and did another one, didn't he?
So we put him on last year's counter? I guess so.
Sure, why not?
Yes.
We've got to add it. We haven't added it up yet, have we?
We don't know. We don't know the results from last year, and we don't know what to do this year with the 9B counter.
There were a lot of comments talking about paper, and I would kind of like a return to the ridiculous thing we used to bodge together.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
But which one? Just 9B?
9B Women's 9A on paper only.
So we forgot about bouldering, we forgot about trad, we forgot about deep water soloing.
Yeah. Go back to the basics. Although we did get a lot of stick about using paper at the time, as in people couldn't read it.
Oh, I thought environmentally.
I don't know, those people were quiet.
We should use recycled paper.
We do. Maybe. But we will, we'll think about it. Maybe paper with a digital. I don't know.
shop stuff, and this week we've got a Patagonia winter special with certain products up to 25% off. So have a scroll through our brand page of Patagonia and pick something nice and organic and eco-friendly, Patagonia-y.
Get on it. I want to talk about clipstick, Pin Go clipsticks, fairly new to the EpicTV shop. You know, I'm a big beta stick clip sticker, so I'm quite interested by this model. Slightly better priced than the beta sticks.
Okay.
Looks very interesting. I haven't used this one personally. I'm hoping to get my grubby mitts on it, but it's new to me, so I thought it'd be interesting for you guys. So check that out. Pin Go clipsticks, kind of cool.
Possible comparison coming up?
Possible. That could be a good one, couldn't it? 2021 was a heck of a year, and when we were looking back at it, it was just, there were so many highlights. I mean, we had some of the hardest trad in the world got sent, sport routes, bouldering, the Olympics that we talked all about last year. And we thought, look, it's a bit too long for us to go through all of the highlights from the year, so we'll pick a couple of our favourites. So T, 2021, what stood out for you?
I got bouldering news. 9A, because the 9A grade was launched out there. First up by Simon Lorenzi in Font with his ascent of the Big Island Sit, or what was it called, Sudan Seul, because of the book he had underneath the knee pad. So I don't know. I like that news story because of all those intricacies, and then Nico came along and downgraded it. And then Nathaniel Woods with his other 9A, Return of the Sleepwalker, and both of those boulders got really sick videos.
Why is that a highlight? Why were they highlights for you? Because of the videos? Or
Because I couldn't care less about
bouldering.
About bouldering. No, but like, you know, it's a piece of rock. It's really hard moves. Like, again, it takes a while to do, and it's like such a specific project and holds and things that sometimes it can get lost in certain videos. You're like, okay, it's hard. Like, what's the point of watching this? We get it. Instead, in these, in both videos, and the Simon Lorenzi one still needs to come out. I don't know, it's just, they just actually stole a story. The Daniel Woods one was just sick. Like, I just loved the edit, the songs, everything about it. And the Nico Pelursson one, I don't know, we got an insight into him and his training, and just the specific training for the boulders. Anyway, I'm rambling along. I like those two boulder stories. What's your favorite?
I think yours is good, by the way, first of all. There were absolute highlights. I picked a very different story. So Sean Villanueva O'Driscoll, who is a dude, just straight up, he did the Moonwalk Traverse, which is a skyline traverse in Patagonia, the Fitzroy Traverse. It has been done the other way around by Tommy Caldwell and Alex Honnold. Sean Villanueva did it the other way, by himself, rope soloing it, 5 days on the wall during his 40th birthday. And what's kind of cool is the whole story surrounding it, because he was in Patagonia when Corona kicked off. Thought, no, I'm not going to go home and get locked down. I'll stay in Patagonia. Lived there for like a year, got really into the community and did this climb. And I have a feeling that you have to kind of live there and see the conditions every day to be able to do something like this. So it's a story for the times. It was an amazing story. He's one of my favourite climbers, full stop. And I just loved covering that. It's a nice one, Sean. There is a full interview with that as well. Yeah, so that's linked down below. So if you want to check out Sean's interview we did with him about that climb, it's there.
Right.
Heck of a year. Let's have a better 2022, shall we?
Yes, sure.
Let's do it. Now, content. You know we churn out daily content. So our first video, well, we talked about our highlights. Flo, this is a surprise for you. Flo is our editor for Climbing Daily. He does a lot of the Climbing Daily episodes, works tirelessly. Thank you so much, Flo. Could you pick a minute teaser from your favourite edit of the year?
Your wish is my command. Shabilly!
This is Theo Blas. He's an 11-year-old climber from France who's been smashing through the hard grades. He climbed his first 8C, Souvenir du Pic, in 2020, and at 10 years old, he was the youngest person to climb a route that hard. He's now sent his second 8C, the 30-metre overhanging Gare d'Azur, belayed by his father, Vladimir.
Gare d'Azur, c'est un peu la king line de Claré. Et c'est vraiment sur une proue qui dépasse de Claré qu'on voit vraiment de loin. En fait, je suis arrivée à Claré, je me suis dit que je voulais essayer sa voisine, Super Samson. Mais finalement, je suis quand même allée pour une première montée pour voir comment c'était à peu près. Je suis allée dans l'air du jour. Ça m'a tout de suite inspirée, on va dire. Et c'est à partir de ce moment que j'ai commencé à la travailler.
Well, that was good. I have no idea
I
what it was.
wonder what that was. Yeah, I'm sure he's smashed up like us saying funny things or doing silly things.
Oh, the poor guy. If he does that, he'd have to actually do loads of editing. So I hope you haven't done that, Flo.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But look, thank you, Flo, for all the hard work you do. Appreciate it, man.
You're my hero. Thank you.
Second content, climbing hangar. Awesome new gym in Sheffield.
Yes.
You and me were there.
We were indeed, and we got to climb with Alex Waterhouse, who's another dude. But yeah, check out this teaser. So we're back at the comp wall, and I'm such a good dynamic run and jump boulderer. But no, that's actually one of my weaknesses. So I'd like to work on something on that.
Okay.
Something a bit challenging,
Yeah.
so harder than a violet and blue one.
Okay.
What would you recommend?
So I guess the reds are the next step up. So we've got a couple of dynamically looking reds. This one looks like it's got a pretty hard stand up at the beginning. So it starts on that one up there, which means you're gonna have to like run and jump up. Come on. You got it. Full commitment.
I feel I'm just gonna like run into the wall. But okay.
It's happened to everyone. Oh, wait, okay.
Okay.
That was really close. Yes! Look at the length. Nice. Come on. Yeah, Nice. Got it. Nice. Easy.
There's a part 2 of that video coming soon. It was just too much fun to jam into one. So we have the kilterboard session that came after another feature of that climbing hangar gym. So check that out. Comment of the week.
Oof,
First
what
one
shall
of the
we
year. Well, sing, obviously. Beautifully. So the
Okay.
world knows that we're coming.
If you want like a beautiful song, I feel I just need to leave it to you.
Well, thank
Go
you very
sing
much,
it.
Teresa. Comment of the week. And that goes on perfectly to my comment from B Hill, saying, Matt gives me dad vibes with the way he awkwardly sings very loudly and he's trying to be hip when it really isn't working. Now, I don't mind being called not hip because I'm not, but dad vibes. I've never had the dad, that's a new category for me.
I would like to say you actually take care of, you have to fill in that blank.
Not kids.
Exactly.
I have kids, you know something I don't? Are there kids? There's no kids, right?
Anyway, my comment is from Enrico Casarosa, and he says, Tamoa said on his challenge that he's not doing speed anymore. Tamoa is not doing speed anymore.
Because
That's
of the
it.
Olympic chat we're talking
Yes,
about.
we're talking about that maybe we'll see him in Paris doing speed as well, but it looks like he's not going to.
Oh, there we go. Tamoa has retired from speed. I have a feeling quite a few of them will have done the same.
Yeah, there was also another comment saying, what's the point of speed climbing? Just, to throw it in there.
Stop it. Speed is great, all right? I will stick
another
by
point-
speed. I will, you know what? Let's leave the show there. Thank you for watching the new show in 2021. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We really appreciate your sub. We'll be back next week for more news. See you soon.